We're 1 week away from Trump's presidency. What do I expect from markets and geopolitics in America? Alright, when it comes to politics, there's something that you need to understand. A politician's job is to be re-elected. So they will say what they need to say to be re-elected. For the Democrats, that means making all the promises and then not delivering. For the Republicans, the job is to pick up the scraps and be the adult in the room and be blamed for everything. That strategy is called good cop, bad cop. This strategy is also known as good cop, bad cop, similar to parents. So mommy promises everything, Disneylands, sweets, everything, and daddy comes in and says no. So mommy says, sorry kid, daddy said no. So daddy is the bad guy and mommy is the good guy. But the reality is they're both your parents and they're both playing on the same team. For my entire lifetime, we never had a recession under a Democrat. We always had a recession under a Republican. The thing is that the recession should have happened in 2023. But if you remember, the bank bailouts did not take months to settle. No, the bailouts were instant, same day. The job numbers were faked. All the economic data was faked. The inflation numbers were lowered. Everything was fake. The US economy did not perform as well as seen as on paper. They kept it going until the elections. And now that Trump won, this is what will happen. They will wait for Trump's tariffs to be implemented. And once those tariffs are implemented, it will stop the commodities manipulation, stop the market manipulation, and, not lower the numbers for inflation again. And boom, we are in that stagflation that I've been talking about for years, that we should have been in 2023. And all will be blamed on Trump. So for an official recession to happen, you need 2 quarters of no growth, which means that the earliest we will see an official recession will be in June. But that crash that will happen is already baked into the markets because everyone expects a bailout. So what will happen is markets will crash initially and then everyone will expect that bailout. So everyone will buy back, buy the dip, and then the real crash will happen shortly after. This is very important for you if you're investing. And it's not going to be just another recession, markets coming back. It's going to be a stagflationary recession because inflation is going to be a reality again. That brings us to the reason why the US is flooded with immigrants. Because everyone knows that inflation is not caused by endless money printing and the forever wars of the US government. No. It is caused by something called the Phillips curve, which states that inflation is caused because people are just too employed. We have too much employment in the country. So to lower inflation, you make people unemployed and replace them with cheaper employees that will work for almost nothing. So everyone across the border and those H-1B visas. That's why they are a thing. That's why they're discussed by Musk and Trump. That's Keynesian economics, and it's complete nonsense. The inflation, the stagflation that will start this year is caused by the government printing endless money and spending that money on the military-industrial complex, continuously being involved in multiple wars around the globe. But Goldie, under Trump, that will for sure end. The forever wars will end, especially if we are in a recession, because where will all the money be coming from during a recession to fight all these wars, right? Maybe, but I think that is wrong. Because you have to understand the first thing I said in this video. Politicians say something to be re-elected, and then they don't need you anymore. Trump cannot run for a second term. That's it. He cannot run for president again. He does not need you anymore. why would he deliver what he promised? The only reason he was allowed to be president, and frankly, allowed to be alive, is so he will do what his handlers tell him. And I know many people think, oh, he will wrap up the war in Europe right now. One day. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think they want to tie Russia's hands and go and fight the root of evil, which is a specific country in the Middle East that Trump's handlers really don't like. So for the entire presidency, I see a very disappointing presidency. I see a lot of promises that have not been delivered at the end of that presidency. And I don't see that with the current shift in the world, they're talking about taking over Greenland, the Panama Canal. This is clearly because of BRICS. It's an economic war. And all the West has done until now is double down and never take the loss. Why would that be different under Trump? But again, I can't predict anything. I can give you an educated guess. The important thing for you is be ready. Do you have a plan? Are you going to live somewhere else? Are you going to go off grid? What will you do? Because the hard times are coming. It's a slow coming, but they are coming. And I really don't wish for anyone to wake up one day and look around and see that the world that they know is not there anymore, and they're completely unprepared. So look for yourself and your family, look after them, plan ahead. What will you do? I left the West, trying to build a new life. It's going really well, but maybe that's not for you. So you have to figure out what to do. Just know that the endless money printing, exporting the inflation to the world, and never facing the consequences of your actions, those days are over. So take care, everyone.